I handed out just our new updated notes to reflect what is in the proposed preliminary budget.
That's what's in the resolution.
Yes.
All right, I was gonna see, can we print some of the memo that you sent yesterday?
The
Just the
changes.
changes.
So
line
it is on,
items.
it is on the last page
Okay.
of this.
Oh, it is good.
Yes.
Last page.
The last page, yes. I
Oh, yeah,
figured,
there you go.
yeah. So everything is reflected in each of the departments if you want to go through it, department by department. But to summarize the changes that's proposed for the preliminary is on the last sheet.
All right, good morning, everybody. This is hopefully the final workshop for the town board of the town of Malta for to make the changes that we agreed upon for the tentative budget. And hopefully we will accept a preliminary budget. After this meeting, the preliminary budget will be filed with the town clerk and available to the public. Just of note, a couple of changes to the meetings schedule. We had intended to set a public hearing today for the preliminary budget, but we're going to change that a little bit on the advice of council, and we will file it with the clerk first, then the public will have time to look at it, and then Monday night at our regular agenda meeting, we will set the public hearing, and the public hearing will be on November 6th. Before and at the same meeting where we hopefully will actually adopt the budget. So I have, the new schedule's been posted, I have a couple of copies here. The dates haven't changed, just the actions. These you have on the last page here are the changes that we agreed to, some of the highlights. There were some changes to staff. We gave some staff additional raises above and beyond what we presented for everybody, which was $1 and a 2.7 COLA. Some people got additional $1 or $2 or 50 cents or the equivalent if they're salaried. Other major changes are we removed the salary study from the budget. That was a decrease of $60,000. We included one dedicated sheriff's patrol for $200,451. Anything else major? We added a crack filler machine for the highway department. We increased payroll a little bit for summer camp based on information.
Yep.
Is the Luther Forest Lights addressed in here, or that we handle through a different fund? different
That's
day?
gonna handle for a different fund. I have reached out to the Assemblywoman Carrie Warner's office to help us facilitate a grant. And then what we need outside of that grant will come from Park Reserve, so that's a different process.
And that Park Reserve covers what we kind of mentioned earlier, in 200,000 or something like that?
Yeah, right now the reserve has about 730,000.
Don't want to deplete that by any means.
Right, so if we can, see if we can get some money from someplace else and then,
I agree.
yeah, also, and then get those done.
And just to notate too, if anyone was looking at the preliminary changes summarized, there was an error in the tentative budget related to the revenue tentative budget amount for hazardous waste in the A fund. So I had to decrease that revenue by 88,800. I must have put an extra 0 or 2 when I was in there. So it is a big change, but it was just due to an error on my end in putting it.
Hazardous waste.
So-
Is that a collection that
So
found?
yeah, well, so we collect money for e-waste, the event that we just had this past weekend. And I want to say there's something else, but household hazardous waste as well. So it's not a huge revenue account, but I just wanted to be upfront that that was an error on my end in the tentative budget.
Separate line item, so.
Correct, yes.
Just, let me just finish going through these, just so then, the major changes. We had appropriated $60,000 for, court renovations. We reduced that by $20,000 after we met with the justices.
So that's at 40 now?
That's at 40 now.
40,000 for renovations.
Right.
What's specified to have?
Bathroom and the landing area,
Yes.
The drainage, yeah.
40K.
We,
Should be able to do that.
yeah. We also appropriated $5,500 for an audio-visual administrator, we called it, somebody to take those responsibilities away from our town clerk, who has other responsibilities, and it gets a little complicated during meetings when she's trying to be town clerk. And
Have you reached out to find a
we
time or intern to
we have not yet, mostly because we need to have it budgeted.
figure the $5,500?
Well, yeah.
I just averaged 16 hours per month at about $18 an hour, for the 12 months.
Gotcha.
And it actually resulted
Say
in
that
about
again,
16 hours average a month, give or take. I don't know. 12 months, $18 an hour. It actually results to like 5,400. So put it at 5,500. Didn't seem like a big stretch.
Adds up quick.
Yeah.
And that's it. The rest of it's all just payroll, I
Well, you
think.
do want to mention that we did put in the bathroom partitions for the parks. for
Oh,
12
yeah, we added the bathroom partitions for the parks.
was that just Shenandoah or all the parks?
Both. It's just the two, Malta Community Park and Shenandoah. The ones at the Lewis Forest Athletic Fields are fine. So,
You all done on that?
yes.
Okay. My biggest concern is the salaries. When we started off this in draft form, you said that $1 increase per every employee, which,
Except elected
and
officials.
then a COLA.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Cola.
COLA only for elected
concern
officials.
Where we've cherry picked certain employees to get added increases when they've had increases, and their salary is, I would say, average. So I'm going back on straight dollar plus the COLA for everybody across the board. But that's my thought.
Basically, the employees that we reviewed, and we did review this in executive session, so I'm not going to go through too much detail, were employees that the department heads had requested additional. So when we did sit and look at them, we compared what they were making with what we think is their performance and whether or not they're going above and beyond. And then we also, like I said, we decided, we evaluated that, and we also compared what they were making currently with our existing salary structure. So in some cases, we had people that had been here for a number of years that were not even, qualified.
That's true.
And some that had been here for a very long time that weren't even midpoint. So we tried to adjust some salaries based on that, the existing criteria that's been adopted and established by the town of
My
Malta.
biggest concern is, once people find out who was granted increases, it's gonna create a lot of animosity, especially when we have been told for the last year, we're gonna hire a consultant to review all jobs and also reflect it in the pay. It's hard to go backwards, it's easier to go forwards.
Well,
That's just
my 2 cents. I think we're going forward, and we're going forward uphill, which is good. We're increasing, everybody got an increase of 2.7 cost of living allowance, COLA of 2.7, and $1. That's across the board. Everyone in this town got a raise. And then we get targeted raises were brought to our attention by the branches, and they advocated for their employees. And,
Which happens every year.
Yeah, we,
Yes.
we did not agree to it in every case.
and we
There
didn't
was-
agree. If someone just wrote down a number, we didn't arbitrarily say, yes, we're gonna max you out, what your desire is gonna be. That ain't gonna happen. That is not being fiscally responsible.
I understand that.
I think we're working towards getting maybe people who think they're unjustly not compensated compared to other towns. Well, we're not other towns, this is Malta-town, all right? So this is where we live, this is our scale, all right? And for us to match everybody and every location is, and I guarantee you, we're probably like one or two in the top high end of all the salaries for all the positions, because we're a bigger town than some of the smaller towns. So are people gonna be upset that they got a raise and not as much? Well, okay, I got it.
Been going on for years.
I mean,
My biggest,
Well, one thing also to note is this board, and I believe you also, agreed not to have the tentative budget originally had $60,000 appropriated for the salary study. And
I think
this-
that's high.
I know, we gotta,
they quoted us 30,000 the year before, and they doubled it to tell us that we can get that information by knocking on the door and going, that's just a waste of money. That's like getting a housing, survey. You know what he's gonna say? You need more housing. Pay your employees more. These are very obvious. Clean the lake. I got it, Some of these things are a little redundant, for paying money that the average person could see and deduce. Our job is get action going. That's what matters. So I'd rather spend money on action than tell me someone else tell me something's wrong that I already know is wrong. Got it.
But I think it's subjective, they don't have any input to the town, and I think it's been long overdue.
Well, we're working towards it.
We've been working towards it for the last year. We've been told it was gonna happen, and
Who told you it was gonna happen?
Cynthia,
Oh, okay.
well, we
she
tried,
went out and got quotes,
yeah.
and it was June, and then it was put off.
Because the board didn't want to spend the money. I was willing to move ahead with it, but the board wouldn't spend the money. So it was everybody's decision.
Listen, I stand here every day and say $60,000 for a salary study, is not frugal.
$60,000 a little more. But you went to one contractor, right?
We sent out,
One estimate?
we sent out a request for proposals and we got one estimate.
A lot of HR companies have.
No, apparently they don't want to do this.
I lost that battle too, so.
So
I don't
again,
care.
Just
That's
because
how
someone comes
come
back
we're
with
here
a
as a group.
survey, we're not abide by increasing the salary structure by $2 million, because,
I didn't say that.
no, but listen, I guarantee you, it ain't gonna be saying cut salaries. Ain't gonna happen.
Ain't
I already
gonna
know we're gonna increase salaries. That's what the study's gonna say. Now, and then we are targeting, ready, which I think is good, individual productivity production is what we should be doing, instead of just saying, you got the title, therefore you get this much money. Because they already get that.
That's why we need an independent consultant.
To do individual evaluations on people?
No, to study the job, the different clerks. I'm not arguing about it, Al. I'm just giving my straightforward opinion. In the past 10 years, when we cherry-picked, okay, so-and-so gets increase, it creates a lot of internal turmoil. And we're looking right down that path again. We solve no problems.
Got it. I don't think we cherry-picked one, gave everyone a raise, and then we gave targeted individual raises due to performance. That to me is a reward and not settling, but anyhow, I said enough about it.
Yep, you did.
Any other comments from anybody?
So,
The board say, I have somebody in the audience that looks like he wants to talk. Do we want to entertain public comment? No.
Listen, I'm fine talking to anybody who wants to.
All right.
They want to get on the podium?
Mr. Sloat, yeah, you got to come talk into a microphone.
Woody Sloat, Judge for the town. On the raises that you have there for the clerks, is that $1 on top of the original?
Yes.
So that would be $2?
Yes, and
I
2.7.
just want clarification on that. On the $40,000 set aside to do the legal obligations to the court, are we going to set a deadline to have that done? And the reason I'm asking that is this has been going on since 2012. So are we going to set deadlines to have that done? In other words, can we have it? We only need one bathroom done to be ADA compliant. Are we going to say that that's going to be done by the end of November?
This is a 2026 budget, so the money is not appropriated until 2026. So, no.
Okay.
We can
Okay,
certainly,
to answer the question, are we going to set deadlines?
we don't generally. I mean, we can get things set up and try to do it as soon as we can in the beginning of the year.
What deadline would you like, Woody?
I think in the first month after this is posted, we should at least have some plans, particularly since we're in violation of law, which I have told you for well over a year, and to wait another couple of months, to me, is outrageous. We should be fixing anything that we have that is not ADA compliant as soon as possible. We all took oaths of office to obey the law, and this is what I'm pushing. The other thing was you asked us at the last meeting to submit paperwork regarding things that we would like you to discuss. We submitted it in writing. There's a list of things. I'm not hearing those things discussed today.
A list of things to discuss regarding the budget?
Yes, it was a memo submitted to you after our last meeting, and there's a list of things to discuss. We would just like to hear your opinion on those things.
This is all just money and the healthcare coverage. This you're talking about?
Yes.
Can't see it from here, I'm sorry.
I mean, we did increase the clerk's salaries. And because you're actually considered part-time by the town of Malta,
We are elected officials, and we work more than part-time.
well, your job is classified as part-time. That would all have to be changed.
Again, I'll ask, who classified that?
Plus the other, I don't know.
That's not a civil service
Done years ago.
classification.
The other thing is, all the other elected officials, I mean, I'm the only one that's full-time, and, well, Jen, she probably takes the insurance, right? Do you use our healthcare
Roger.
insurance? And Roger. I don't, and I don't take the buyout. So,
Okay, I didn't hear no discussion among your fellow board members on that particular subject.
so what he's asking for is that we agree to change their positions to full-time positions and allow them to get the buyout for the health insurance, which in our case is $1,800, maybe? How much is it?
It's a staggered buyout based off of what you qualify for, whether it's an individual plan, individual plus spouse or children and family, so it's staggered based off of that plan choice. It does not meet the $4,000 that's in his request
Is that
currently.
buyout also used in other towns, or is it?
Probably.
It's pretty consistent to have a payment in lieu of health insurance.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's available to all of our full-time employees that either do or don't get health insurance.
To answer your
Basically a way for
question,
them the justices to get more money from us.
To answer Councilman's question, the town of Half Moon gives their justices $4,000 each in lieu of health insurance. The town of Clifton Park gives $2,500 in lieu of their health insurance. The town of Wilton gives their justices $500 in lieu of health insurance. And they don't consider them part-time employees, they're elected officials.
As an elected official, I mean, you can come here and you can vote, but there's a lot of us that spend a lot more time answering calls, complaints, issues. It's all what you put into it. I mean, it's, you can call it what you want, part-time, full-time, elected.
I guess the question is, are they considered full-time employees in the New York State retirement system?
It would be based off of what they submit for a record of activities. But the New York State retirement doesn't make the classification for attendance.
No, but again, you know, I think that could be a measuring tool for us.
What the justices are asking for is something that their fellow judges in Saratoga County of townships that have similar work volume, that's all we're asking for.
So does Milton have the same size?
Milton's half the size of us as far as volume.
It's the Northway.
But you just quoted them as being,
No,
as your example.
Wilton with a
Said Wilton.
W.
Hilton.
Wilton with a W.
Wilton.
Wilton. The Northway Corridor has considerably more volume of cases than the towns, the other towns.
Because it's off 87 probably.
So the other employees, they have the option to do the buyout?
Yes, as long as they qualify.
Judges want to be given the option to do a buyout, is that what you're saying?
payment in lieu of, yeah.
In lieu of, yeah.
In lieu of your pay?
In lieu of health insurance.
Above, on top of
Above.
your pay?
In lieu of insurance, on top of
In
the
lieu of
pay.
insurance, because we have insurance from other sources, whether it be our wives or former employment.
Any opinions?
What was that? No? It was a no. One thing for no. Sorry, I know it's not funny. Well, you need to do is present a resolution first and make them think before we just make a decision right here, right?
So we can make a resolution,
Or even pass it or not, not pass.
we can make a resolution just establishing those positions as considered full-time elected officials. And there wouldn't have to be a change to the proposed preliminary budget because our health insurance accounts are generally, encompassing of that of a health insurance plan and or more just because of, employee turnover or this or that. So, there wouldn't have to be a change.
So
to
that
those
we don't have to
preliminary.
change the budget.
Right.
We would just
Now-
have to establish them as full-time positions.
What's the difference? Again, I'll be honest with you, I don't think it's getting in this budget. I'm not for voting it in this budget right now. Willing to have the discussion, because I need to know what the difference is when we designate them as full-time. What else changes? Do they have,
They're eligible for benefits.
they're eligible for benefits? Is there any hour work requirement of that? So 2 hours versus 40
No,
hours?
if you're setting an elected position as full-time, they don't have any requirement to submit their hours to the town. What their requirement would be, in terms of anything beyond the town would be through New York State Retirement and submitting, a record of activities, but that's, nothing that the town would have. Elected officials aren't required to submit
I'm just
time
thinking
cards.
out loud,
Yeah.
which might be a mistake, but as soon as we designate them full-time, we'll be here next year. I'm full-time judge, I need to get double my salary now. That's paid as, comparable to what an Albany judge or a Boston Spa, family court judge gets paid, and then we're, So, it's a discussion that needs to be had, but I'm not ready to make a decision on it today.
As Julia said, it's not necessarily a budget decision anyway, because making it, first of all,
Just change it.
telling them, yeah, full-time doesn't matter, and because they're still gonna get the same salary that is in here. All it is 2 extra people getting the payment in lieu of.
Well,
which-
payment in lieu of now, but, if for whatever reason the judges do change, those positions would still be classified as full-time and they could opt into the health insurance.
Right.
You should note that we are on call 24/7.
I know. So am I.
How many times in the last year have you gone out in the middle of the night?
I don't go out in the middle of the night.
Correct.
You're out
All right,
there.
thanks, Woody. We'll talk about it.
I think it should be discussed, but not in 26 budget.
Right, like I said, it's not really relevant to budget.
I'll be quite frank, we should be having these discussions all year long instead of
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
cram that in and salaries and stuff and work, systematically of
And I've been
working
asking
on-
for that.
on goals and stuff, but,
All right, anybody else have,
Yeah, as far as equipment presented, lifts, backhoes, I'm not sure, where does that stand? I
Well, we
don't
took the
really
backhoe.
See them here.
we took the backhoe out. They're not, because the only thing is, did we take it out?
So,
It was
no,
taken out,
No.
where is it
Yeah.
shown here?
no, the backhoe wasn't taken out because maybe I'm understanding the conversation wrong from previous
I
budget
think
workshops,
Roger was
but
getting a backhoe.
No,
not me.
no, Roger's getting a crack
filler.
filler.
Yeah, so Roger's change of his equipment increased $25,000 because he preferred to have a replacement of the crack filler versus replacement of the skid steer.
All right,
Maintenance has, and you'll see it in the breakdown if you wanna go to the maintenance page.
In the
Maintenance,
draft?
right,
no.
right in here,
Okay,
yep.
I got you.
Maintenance didn't have any changes to the equipment. I think it was going back and forth where there was
Yeah,
potentially,
it's
but
how come I
I
asked the
didn't get
question?
a good feel as to whether it was to be removed or not, so that's why it's left in and you
Asking
don't see
for
a change.
that lift, I know.
So the equipment that's in the tentative and continued for the proposed preliminary for maintenance is a wood chipper, a skyjack, line stripper, a true cab truck with a plow, a tri-deck mower, and a backhoe.
That was proposed,
That's what's in the proposed preliminary. It has not changed from the tentative.
so he's getting all that?
That is what's in the budget.
I thought we were not.
Wouldn't it be cheaper to rent some of that equipment
no,
versus buy? Because when we buy it, we always get, well, it's 6 years old, it needs maintenance, we can't get parts for it.
well, one thing is,
Long-term, it's saving us money.
well, one thing, a small wood chipper that he wants is used every time there's a storm. He parks, there's, branches and stuff in the park, so.
How many wood chippers do we have now?
The maintenance has none. Highway has that great big one, right? So, but,
We don't
but, when,
share
no,
equipment?
when there's a major storm, or any kind of storm, a highway's out there chipping up their own wood too. So, and plus he doesn't need one that big to do park stuff. The Skyjack, the one that we have is dangerous, so that he needs that.
So it would be cheaper to rent it then?
No, I think they'd use it too often to rent it. It's, every time there's a play, they use it for scenery, they use it to change all of the filters in the community center, they use it to change any lights in the community center.
I thought,
Yeah,
I mean. well,
I thought you talked about taking out the backhoe,
That was
all the other
discussed.
stuff,
Right.
There's nothing wrong with being self-sufficient,
right?
and then, of course, as needed, rent something that's obscure, but I think this is like our third backhoe. Right? Roger's got one that's semi-working, right?
That would be two,
Wait,
right?
let's start all over again. Is it working, yes or no?
Yes.
There you go.
Should we remove the backhoe?
I think it's redundant, not self-sufficient. That's $65,000. I don't see
I mean-
that on our plate.
How often do we have to use a second backhoe in town?
He thought it might be also useful, a smaller one, instead of the really big one that Roger has.
That
It's
backhoe's got
useful.
multi-purpose, it's got attachments, I would imagine. You don't buy any equipment without being multi-purpose and buy attachments, right? I don't know about that, but anything you buy, you should get the Cadillac version. But I thought I'm against that backhoe.
I'm fine, we can take it
I'm
out.
against it too.
Okay. So within the preliminary changes, there'd be a $65,000 reduction to the account A1620.2, which is called building equipment,
Let's just, okay,
and just to remove the backhoe.
so We had a plan, so let's get a new plan. Is money set aside for the bids to get the courthouse?
None at this time, no.
There you go, there's $65,000.
Well, I actually requested that of Labella. Well, that will be something that will go out for,
With double the bill, it's $6 million freaking.
we'll go out for bid, this year on that. So,
So they got the specs and it's gonna go out for bid.
right, they're gonna put together a bid package.
There's no money associated with that, there's nothing we gotta do.
Not at this time.
I
be
think
this
our
year.
We have to pay
conversation,
them again to repackage what they did.
Well, we're not paying them, again, we're gonna be paying them in order to build the bid specs package. Yes.
'Cause they
my
are- they
position-
are-
Hi, could I say something? Hi, thanks for bringing that up. It's, I'm Jim Fauci, one of the town justices. Thanks for bringing up the courthouse. Again, and what your discussion now is was there money budgeted? Does there have to be money budgeted just for these RFPs?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, we'll do a budget transfer from this year's
Okay.
budget, because that's gonna happen this year. So this is all 2026.
Right, great. And then thanks for the additional consideration to our clerks. Thanks for listening. We talked about it last meeting and the memo. Thank you very much. As far as, Justice's healthcare, if you could consider that as well. Sounds like you are. Thank you.
Yep, we will.
Doesn't, I don't really know if there has to be the reclassification, but it also sounds like it doesn't necessarily have to be in this budget, that you can do that by resolution. Thanks.
Yep,
I would like to continue our discussion about the courthouse issue going forward. It seems as if it was just totally dropped. We haven't examined all our options as a group. It sounds like everyone has their own path forward, but it shouldn't be anything that's just dropped.
well, we're having Labella put together a bid package, and we will send out a request for proposals.
That's a good step.
So, as soon as we get that from them.
Plan is
Then
in
we'll
motion.
discuss it
Right.
afterwards, right?
What's that?
And then we'll
Well, right, well, we'll hopefully get proposals back,
Yeah.
and then we'll know.
And then we make the next move.
Then we make the next move.
You know what I'm thinking, right, Julia? I won't say it out loud.
I mean, at some point also, we have to do something about the fact that our maintenance department is in a temporary trailer. They're gonna be adding additional staff,
Listen, they got a brand, beautiful building right there. They can, when they vacate, they can have.
but it will likely be at least a
much
couple of years.
How much is that?
Built?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Speaking of the ground maintenance,
I watched a $17 million building get built on my property, and it took almost less than about 8 months. From the foundation up,
Financing up.
foundation up.
and you bounded
Financing
it?
takes some time.
And you bounded it? What is the cost of that trailer?
$1,400 a month?
Oh, it's
No,
14?
no. 500, 550 a month?
And does that include the outhouses?
No, that's additional.
So
Ooh, off the top of my head, I don't
What's
remember
our-
the cost of that.
monthly. Thank you. Cost of that.
Now,
I don't
think
remember the
a
cost.
great
Under 200 a month?
We should, maybe make, I don't know, town board field trip to all of our buildings, every nook and cranny, and do a
Yeah, let's-
assessment and inventory.
I mean, seriously, let's do that.
What's
Yeah,
good equipment, what's bad equipment, and then when we get the bins here, throw everything out that's no good.
I
We
would,
should be doing, Al,
Yes,
but
we
we're
should.
not all doing it.
there's so much stuff in the basement of the courthouse that could be thrown out. We went over there and looked, and we're gonna do that, and then
What
we
is
looked
down
around.
there anyways?
First of all, 1,000,000 chairs,
Cheers.
1,000,000 chairs. Yeah,
Are they folding chairs or like chairs like that?
they're chairs, well, both, but chairs similar to those.
So it's a big store.
We'd like to have those, sell them.
Santa don't need those chairs?
They use the
have
foldable
enough
ones.
chairs?
Yes.
I'm just seeing whose chairs,
Garage sale.
Well, we can sell them.
We had the auction.
It's just, taking the time to go down there and get them. Some of them are broken.
Is some of the theater supplies stored over there?
There's theater supplies everywhere. here, there, everywhere. Yeah, she's got a whole room. She'd like to have a second room. But we also talked about yesterday at our Emergency Management Committee meeting that we also have CERT equipment everywhere. There's some over there, there's some here. Cleaning out one of those rooms down in the basement of the court to be only emergency management equipment. And, CERT stuff, cots, blankets, MREs.
And I'm being serious, spatialization needs to be really looked at this year.
I agree.
Coming with the water
Yeah.
department on, what's gonna happen if we get, is there any space at Luther Forest? We gotta start thinking instead of being reactionary,
Yeah.
long-term, with the town court, it just
I mean, another thing is Jamie and I walked around the building.
good, this was
Yeah.
capital plans.
Yeah, no, I got another copy of that if you want it. Jamie and I walked around this building the other day and tried to look at ways where we could create additional space. I mean, one thing is, but somebody that actually understands buildings and space has to actually look at it. I would have thought that company that did that other study, I thought that's what,
A little bit over the top.
I thought that was what they were gonna do, was figure out where we can reorient.
But they tried to do it with other,
Because one thing is, and I've said this a lot, and the assessors know it, the assessors have by far, the largest office in the town hall. They have way more space than they need, but again, somebody else has to figure out that they back up against the machine room. We talked about if we could take the plotter out of there, the machine room could be part of your office, but again,
I'm getting an office now?
not you,
Oh, okay.
Jen.
Al, you're part-time.
But,
I'll be full-time. I wanna be three-quarter time.
but we need somebody that can really look at that stuff and
No,
figure
you're
out where
right.
we can change
Assessors'
things.
offices,
Right.
that's huge for three people, they could, functionality of that.
Yeah.
And then make the front part of that the office room with the machines and stuff, and, if you were.
It's
and make
space
that one a
planning, I
little
mean,
office.
that's just.
Yeah, that one just has,
Anyhow,
no,
it needs
but
to
yeah,
be relooked, not just this building, but every building. We only got what?
yeah,
We have a lot of wasted.
in this building, yeah. And then we've got people on top of each other.
I mean, it's like,
But
next,
Are we going through every one of these, or are we good? Maybe just gonna-
I mean, we went through the major changes of the preliminary, and with the new added removal of the backhoe, I mean, I don't know if you wanna go through the nitty gritty of the changes. Under $1,000 changes, we can, but other than that, Cynthia summarized the larger changes, so.
yeah, the other ones are in here, but
it kind of seems that the grounds and maintenance, I mean, that they're getting
Quite a bit of.
quite a bit this year.
Right. I know that a lot of their requests this year, have been a request for several years, and I think that was, the major concern that he had this year during his budget meeting. So I think that's kind of where it all built up.
and again, included in his budget, we have the Pellegrino's roof, the roof here. HVAC for both this building and the court building. So, we added,
What do we do with animal control? I can't remember.
we didn't change it in the preliminary budget. Julia recommends that instead which we have always done in the past, as do it by resolution after the first of the year, so that we give him the part of the additional salary for the deputy, so that because we don't want to eliminate the position of the deputy
I
dog
think there
warden.
should be two
Yeah.
positions,
Well, Brownie didn't want that, though. We had it that way, and he asked
I
to
understand.
change it. He's very
I'd say too,
committed
I
to
could
it.
do it and give me half the salary that's not being used.
Well,
I sign up for that every day.
we have tried
But you
that,
can only
and it was
physically do
not
one
working.
person's job that you couldn't do with two people, Like
Well,
back
it
in
didn't
the
work
door,
out well the
one
last 10
door,
years.
What do you do? Sit there, I'll be back for you. No, you get two guys. Okay, I was just
Do
curious.
we really need a line stripper? I mean, Striper?
I wouldn't be the person to ask. I know that they had to repaint the stripes up at the community center. Obviously after repaving, making sure that, the handicap spots are, marked correctly as they need to be, making sure that they're clear and visible, not just there, but also at our other locations. I know, we have some parking needs, especially with, water that we might
He's
have.
gonna be a busy man next year, isn't he?
Sounds like it.
He's got all this equipment going, he's
They're-
gonna really have to
They're
jump up a little
they're
bit.
incredibly busy now. For the amount of work that
They are, yeah.
that the maintenance department does with their limited staff is
I
unbelievable.
thought they're down a couple employees compared to.
Not maintenance.
Time.
So
Not
in,
maintenance?
no, they're staffed
Rogers.
to the where they need to be. All their positions are currently occupied. But within the tentative budget, and that has not changed for the proposed preliminary, there was an additional full-time staff member that we added to the.
A line striper is important. It's hard, one of those hard things that you can't measure of people not
Right.
parking too close, dinging doors. It's got reflective paint into it. It gives order and structure. And, believe it or not, it does help out a
Yeah.
lot.
And we're gonna be paving, eventually we'll be paving Shenandoah. We are gonna pave the dog park this year. I think we need to put paving into, and I would propose this when we put the lights in, with paving the, parking lot at.
How big is that parking lot?
It's pretty big, but it's problematic now because it's not striped. So it's.
Where is this, at
The
the dog
athletic
park?
fields.
Oh,
The dog park isn't as big, but
You-
the
you
athletic
know-
fields, they park haphazard because if it were paved and striped,
200% for paving that parking lot.
and plus
We gotta maintain it.
when we have our, winter carnival there, after we get the lights on the field, we wanna plow the lot, so.
Yes, so what you're saying is we can't plow it if it's not paved?
Well, the park's not open in the winter now.
I've seen other towns in the area that have a well-maintained gravel parking lot, and believe me, they pave it.
Okay.
Or
Yeah,
they plow it and it's used, and I don't have any complaints about it. And they stripe it also.
okay, I already get complaints about that parking lot. Yeah,
They striped the gravel parking lot?
Yeah, and it works, and it stays there all summer.
I get complaints about that parking lot now because the gravel ends up in the road and it ends up on Rocket Drive or Rocket Boulevard, whatever it is, from the parking lot onto the street.
This is what we had discussed last time.
Yep,
We either all in or all out.
I'm out.
That's our property. If it's our property, we need to run it, we need to pave it, we need to put lights on it and own it and give the residents a good product. This, well, they're taking care of it, we got the thing, hey, $65,000, you could probably, you're not gonna pay for 65,000, I know that. That's a couple $100,000. I know that. That's about a $500,000
It's gonna
job.
be more than the lights.
That's a $500,000 job.
Like I say, I'd like to include that as part of the grant for the lights.
No, like I
So-
said, you know what my head's
Yep.
at. We own it,
Yep,
let's own it. Instead,
If we
got
can
the
get
com-
some
we got the
grants for it,
complaints,
I
and we're
would
not fixing it.
I think we will.
consider it.
All right, anything else? Are we set on a preliminary budget?
Can I speak before?
Yes.
we Finish this thing?
Good morning, Gene.
Good morning. I'm Gene Marcotte. I'm superintendent of the Malta Water District Number 1. So I did provide, I think, a 5-page statement at the budget thing last week. So I'm just going to summarize this because seeing the information yesterday come across, there was nothing additional added to any of the water department staff. First of all, TJ Garland's my assistant. I don't consider him any different than any other assistant in any other department here. Roger has a working supervisor. There's a second in command. All these places, they're all making more money than TJ does. And I don't think that's fair. I know the judge mentioned this, that they're on call 24 hours a day. So aren't we. I was asked during that budget meeting how many times we got called in. I provided Julia with that information, just out of the Cold Springs Pump House, 81 different days in the last year. And that's just days. There are days, there are several alarms. So I'm telling my staff that you can't have a life outside of work because you have to be available 24 hours a day. Little research, if you look into Saratoga County with the sewer department, if we were to ask what those people get that are on call, probably bankrupt the town. They get 3 times their hourly pay for being on call, Monday through Thursday, 5 times their hourly pay Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 7 times their hourly pay on a holiday.
Wow.
We're not asking for that. We're just asking for some consideration of the fact that I can't go out and have a beer after work. I can't go to a family reunion over in Buffalo because I am on call.
So,
And I've been on call for 38 years.
so when you were not available, your assistant helps out as,
We have one person on call a week. Right now, there's just 2 of us because there's only 2 of us that are certified.
right,
So that person on call would respond to a minor emergency. A pump kicked off, go reset it. If we have a water line break, we lose a pump, we lose a well, that's all hands on deck.
yep.
And these people understand that. But how much longer are they gonna understand that? I don't know. And I can't justify asking them every single night, do not have a life. Especially for what they're being paid. And I'm not putting down any other employee in this town, but you're paying somebody $25, $26 an hour to mow the lawn. And paying somebody $25, $26 an hour to have all this responsibility on them. There's a huge difference there. I've had, in the last year, over 80 resumes sent in for job postings. 2 people had certifications of those 80. 2 people. One of them laughed when I told him what the pay was. The other removed himself for his own reasons. There's no certified operators out there. There's 100 listed on the website, on the health department website, 100 operators in the county. I know for a fact 20 of them are retired. At least 15 to 20, because they don't update the list that often. At least 15 to 20 are going to retire in the next 2 years, myself included. There's also apparently no consideration for the extra work or time that I'm supposed to be putting in for Multiville. It's a completely separate water system.
Yep.
Has nothing to do with Malta District Number 1.
You don't work for the town of Malta?
Yeah,
What's that?
it works for the town of Malta.
Talking the districts, though, there's 2 districts. They're totally separate.
different water faucets, I get it, but it's all part of the town, ain't it?
It's all additional work too. That paperwork is all separate now from this one because it's a different water supply, it's a different district, different billing.
God, you paved a whole bunch of different roads, right? They're all not interconnected. But anyhow, question I got is, of the 81 days you said you got called in, those are 81 days of off hours
Those are 81 days that we had alarms coming out of that building.
during the workday?
It could be either or, workday, weekends.
But he's still saying that he's gotta be available, or somebody has to be available.
No, the question
It's
was all the way
qualified.
back to the workshop, where you were trying to pin down how many times an emergency was called
Yeah.
in, off-duty hours. Because we were talking about vehicles, why we need vehicles.
Yeah.
And, you know, utilization, if we have 3 vehicles and we got 4 employees, you know, it was
I
that was
get
the
you,
discussion,
yeah.
we weren't here for it, quite to be fair. You know, that's what we're talking
Yeah.
about here, so we were trying to, you know,
So, because I wasn't
conceptually
at that,
understand it.
how many times are you called out that's not during a regular work day?
I would say probably at least half of those.
Half of them?
Probably at least half of those. And that's only Cold Springs. I don't have, information that is on record that I can go back through Fox Wander. There was probably 15 to 20 times for Fox Wander. Knapp Road, again, I don't have anything down there that keeps track of this stuff. So, and I wasn't aware that I had to keep a little notebook for something like that. So, trust me, everything now is gonna get written down. But
Question. We bought the water from, what's the guy's name?
Alec Mackey, Saratoga Water Services.
We
Alec
bought the
Mackey.
water, right? And the employees kind of moved over, right?
Mhm.
Did all the employees get a pay raise equal to or above what they were making on the last company?
no,
Yeah,
No.
equal to or above, yes.
What's that?
Equal to.
Equal to.
Or above,
Equal to or less, okay.
above.
I'm just,
we were all promised raises
I'm just.
that we,
I'm just getting a baseline for my information. Before I just, I'm trying to find out, did you all come board and we all lowered you? No.
No.
I'm just.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's a question. Just so I can make a basis decision.
So this gets back to the same thing that I've been talking about, is the HR independent review of our jobs. We can keep kicking the can on it. Fine with me. I got 2 years left. So
Do you wanna pay the $60,000 for?
I think we can get less than 60. We got one company
I'm
respond.
stopping you, Craig. I'm
Huh?
telling you.
I'm telling you too. That's my position.
I,
And he just substantiated it.
I think, if you want, I think that we can go back into an executive session and discuss the water salaries.
or at least a stipend, something like that. I'm not asking for what Saratoga County gives. I think that's a ridiculous number, myself.
Yeah.
I really do. They have more people, so they have more people on call, but they're still paying out that money every week.
It sounds
It's
like,
interesting what you brought up, because the first thing, Al, that I heard you say when I walked in, individual evaluations on people, not titles.
Yeah.
I think that's perfect.
Yeah,
It's
that's
great.
That's what we're doing
The-
target increases for, because I'll be honest with you, right? We've had the water system, what, a year? And I said, we know what we don't know, which is a lot. So to make a whole bunch of wholesale changes, instead of letting it settle in a little bit, is, kind of my approach, not rush to failure, and see and ask pointed questions.
Yep.
When you say emergency and that's supposed to come in and hit the button and reset the pump.
no,
I mean,
he's
I'm not-
talking
I'm not
about,
overly like, I'm just-
Okay, so, I mean, a pump goes down, I lose water pressure, people are without water.
No, I'm saying it's a discussion and it's a clarification, and I don't like the skies falling, chicken little, no one getting water, go right to the deep end of what could happen, therefore, we must do this.
Because you have to plan for what the deep end is.
I got that, and I think that's covered, all hands on deck. And if we can't handle it, we go up to, emergency management, Saratoga, and then if we can't do it, it's the state, there are precautionary, systems in here for utilities. and
this
municipalities.
is,
You're not gonna get anybody that's gonna be able to come in here and fix the problem.
No one can fix the problem, except for you guys?
Yeah,
wait a minute, guys.
Okay.
We sat
What about with
here,
all the other water departments?
we sat here and we gave raises to people because their supervisors thought they were worthy of it. Gene's coming before us and stating the same thing, and we're not addressing his problem.
Again, I
We
think,
gave him the dollar plus the COLA, and that's it, right?
I think,
yeah, the COLA that I didn't get last year. None of us got it last year.
I think that we
None
should
of us.
discuss this in executive session. The individuals that Gene is talking about, I do think there's some merit to the fact that we're adding another water system.
I agree with you.
I forget what else I was gonna say about it. I mean, part of the thing for last year was we took those employees on October 1st. And, our
And-
policy generally is if you're hired in the
And we're
last quarter,
We're trying to get a history, so.
so.
The only other thing I have is we need a roof on our building too.
Yeah, that we're supposed to be
We
getting.
had running water into our building as you guys were putting
Yeah,
a roof on the court.
that was supposed to, did RFP ever go out?
I'm waiting on the RFP to come my way.
I have boxes in the middle of my hallway
He needs an admin.
because they're telling me I can't put them in the
Yeah.
closet because of possible mold issues.
The intention was to do that this year too, and I don't know where it fell through, but I'll check up on that.
I thought it was.
'Cause, yeah.
So, thank you.
Thanks, Gene.
All right, is there anything else other than going into an executive session to talk about Gene's that we need to discuss with result to this preliminary budget? Roger?
You're going to executive session about talking about salaries.
Yes,
I'd like you to revisit Brian's salary.
okay. All right, is that it then? After we're done, we'll file the preliminary budget with the town.
Well, we haven't voted on the resolution
The resolution
to approve the changes for the preliminary budget. Do we still need to do
Can
that,
we
John?
come,
Oh, we're not done yet.
Right, so we'll have to come back.
Oh, we'll have to come back,
Yeah.
right. So, hopefully it'll be brief. All y'all have to leave, though. Oh. Make a motion to go into an executive session.
Regarding,
Second? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?